S&P is going down. It's just incredible. You're going to love the Conrad in DC. You're going to love it. So the S&P is going down, and I love this today. Um, I think that the QQQ was also down earlier. Might be going up a little bit. I think it's up a little bit from starting to go back up from where it was. The Dow is going back and forth a little bit. Um, I have some puts that are expiring on the SPY Friday. I'm going to see what happens today, and I'm probably going to roll my puts. I don't know where I'm going to roll to, but the market looks like it's going down. So I'm going to roll my puts most likely. My return is really, really negative, and I don't want to lose 92% of my profit. So I'm going to roll it. And if I need to invest more, I will. So the other thing that I've been thinking about doing last week, Ginkgo Bioworks went up by a lot and it's down today. So I think I've been thinking about doing this. I believe we might see some kind of very brief rally on the major US indices. And if Ginkgo Bioworks goes up to $4, then I'm going to sell my entire Ginkgo position. It's pretty hefty. I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to buy it again on the lows. Because I had a 70% profit in Ginkgo, and I have several thousand calls. So in my other account, I'm going to YouTube Pastor Monica. I'm going to sell my Ginkgo position and take that profit, because I know that Ginkgo is going to go down when the market declines, and I'll be able to get back into that position at maybe a better price than I originally had it. Ginkgo is a long-term play, but keep this in mind when you're trading. There's nothing wrong with actively trading your positions, taking your profit, and then going back into a position when the market falls. And that will, when the market does crash, all the stocks are going to go down. All of them won't stay down, but they're going to go down. Okay, so just keep that in mind. When do I think Ginkgo? So Ginkgo will probably I think Ginkgo will probably go up by a lot by end of 2023 into early 2024. It's a long-term play. It's going to $93. Okay, it's going to $93. Elena, that's a good question. For some stocks, it depends on what they are. Long-term could be for some 2 years. It could also be 5 years. I can tell you for a lot of junior gold stocks, when I say long term, I'm saying 5 to 10 years. And they're really, a lot of them are really inexpensive. Mm-hmm. So you just buy them and, you add to your position if it was something like that you were trading. And you would just wait for them to go up while you're actively trading other things. So it could be any of those areas. Google splits on Friday, and then I think the public can buy on Monday. And I think what's going to happen with Google is going to be what happened with Amazon. Amazon went down, I think it went down about 12% after the split. So Google is another long-term play. I'm thinking I might buy puts on Google, and I might buy them on Friday. We have Reformation this week, so I'm going to be try not to be too distracted by that. That I don't do any trading, and I haven't done a lot of trading in recent weeks because I've been brooding about something in the market and trying to find a great position. Um, it's Pastor Monica. Is it so selling, buying and selling is trading. It's how you transact when you're trading. And some people use the term cashing out. And what they're talking about is selling, but actually that's not the correct term. I think that's a kid that's people use that because it's a somehow it's a term in gambling that has made its way into the market. So when you talk about selling your position, some people describe that as cashing out. But really it's just you bought um, stocks, you sell stocks. Is not really cashing out, is buying and selling. But people use that term, cashing out. It looks like somebody's in the grocery store. Mm. Chastity, I might buy puts on Monday. If I buy them on Friday, I'm definitely going to tell you, which is why I want you to be on the text notification list because I might buy them on Friday, just in case. Veronica, you should follow that dream. You saw yourself make a transaction with Google. You should follow that. You should follow that. Okay, so this week starts earnings season again. And we have a few companies that some ACE analysts are going to give us their analysis on. And oh, Tiffany, that's right. I don't think we'll be able to buy Google on Friday. It'll have to be Monday. It'll have to be Monday. So let's see. Let's start with, let's see who's here. Shermaya was going to give us Wells Fargo, Stephanie Carter, Citigroup, and Sandrika, JP Morgan, and Stacy, Delta. How many of you are traveling? And how many of you are traveling on Delta? Anybody traveling on Delta? Tiffany, you are. Tiffany, I didn't know you had a Bath and Body um, company. Oh my goodness. I got to talk to you, Tiffany. I know, but I was like, wait a minute, what? Congratulations on that. Southwest never has a problem. Darnell, you're thinking about switching your loyalty from America to Delta. Okay, let's all have a moment of prayer for people that are flying. Because the way these airlines are canceling flights is crazy. Courtney, yes. You need your oil ready. Absolutely. Pastor Monica, you've been blessed on Delta so far. Listen, whew, Delta is a special case. Thank goodness. Wait, you're going to fly on Spirit. Wow. Oh my goodness. Donna, you fly Southwest, but Delta is second. Yeah. Yes. PRJ, you have to do, PJR, you have to do that. Spirit was just in the news. Did their brakes catch fire when they were land? Yeah. 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 Oh, you're flying. So many people are going to Africa here. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to go to Africa later this year. Um, the coronavirus worries me though. I don't like being in planes, even private planes, because there's the crew. I don't know. I don't like being in planes, so it's hindering my life right now. But I'm gonna get over it. Yeah, I think the new variant is like B5 something. Tiffany. Oh my God, Tara, really? They didn't put your luggage on the plane. Jesus. Oh, okay. So Stacy Pacoulet. I love that name because it's French. Um, Stacy, are you ready to give us your analysis of Delta?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Good morning, Stacy. And she
Good
has
morning.
her presentation, which will go up in the community, so you guys can have that as well. Okay, Stacy, take it away. Do you need to share your screen? Because you can.
Can you pull it up? I don't have it up. It-
Um,
or
yeah, actually, I can. Yes, I can.
okay,
Second.
thank you.
You are so welcome. Let's see. Let me go, Stacy. I will moderate this. I would be happy to do this. Oh my God, it's so fancy too. Wow. Let me go to the slide only. Okay. Um, and I will share it. Okay, here we go. Here is Stacy's presentation. Can everybody see this screen? Everybody can see this. Okay, Stacy. Hold on a second. You know what happened here? All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So good morning, everyone, and thank you, Roslyn, for allowing me to present this morning on Delta Airlines. I am one of their SkyMiles members. I have a Delta American Express card that I use quite frequently. So this is an airline that's near and dear to my heart. So let's go ahead and start. You can go to the next slide, please.
Okay. Uh-oh. Um,
Maybe just click on the page. No.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we can do it like that. So here's some of Delta's history. I got it from deltamuseum.org. Delta was one of the first airlines that did aerial crop dusting in Macon, Georgia. They were also first airline to fly nonstop from Chicago to Miami, fly first nonstop service from Atlanta to Los Angeles. It's just a list of firsts that they had, and you all can go on to their website and find all of that information, but just want to show you all some cool facts about Delta. Next, please. Delta's competitors, United Airlines, Southwest, and American are their top three domestic competitors. United Airlines is $15.335 billion Their revenue, Southwest is 9 billion and American is 17.33 billion. Delta is 17 billion in revenue. Next, please.
Oh, wow.
Oh, do you have something to say about that?
No, I was just like, wow.
Oh, so American obviously is beating Delta by, 0.33 billion. So Delta News, obviously, if you keep your ears to the streets, you know that Delta's pilots recently picketed the airline. More than 400 pilots demonstrated outside of Atlanta's airport. Even with the extra shifts that they've allowed the pilots to take on, they still had to cancel thousands of flights since Memorial Day. And we know that 4th of July, they had a big, issue with cancellations, and they actually were overselling flights. They even offered to pay passengers up to $10,000 to give their seats up, which hopefully when I fly back home, that is my case and I will be taking it. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it was crazier that some people said no. So
I know, right? I would say yes.
yeah, definitely. Take the money and run, exactly, Chastity.
Right, Chastity.
Because we can invest that into the stock market.
Yes.
Next, please. And I have all of the resources down on the bottom so y'all can, check it out for yourself. Delta Frequent Flyer Program, their Sky Miles launched in 1981, so that's about 40 years ago. They have over 100 million members and they generate over $6.1 billion from selling Sky Miles. Their biggest partners right now are American Express, Hilton, and Lyft. American Express, I read that they have a contract until 2029 with Amex. So next, please.
That's a nice profit that they're generating from that program.
Absolutely. This is their earnings on Wednesday. This Wednesday, pre-market, Delta will have their earnings report. The second quarter was the closest. The second quarter that just passed, it was the closest thing to normal since COVID began for Delta, which is, they're expecting their earnings to be high. As you see here in the reports that they've pretty much met their estimated earnings over the last 3 quarters. So looks like they're going to meet with their predictions this time also. Next, please. So Delta stocks for the past year has been down 29%. At close, it was $29.80. Obviously today when market open, it's a little lower. It's 29. I think 30 was the last thing we saw, and their RSI was 34, which I think right now is 32. So before we go to the last slide, remember I started trading in January, so I am not a professional, but this is just my prediction. We'll see. Go ahead, please. So my conclusion is to buy calls. After today, I was like, oh my gosh, is this right? I don't know. So we can discuss it, but I say buy calls based off of, my research and everything that I saw. So that is all. Thank you all so much for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask Roslyn, the professional. Thank you.
Stacy, I love it. That is excellent. This Stacy's presentation is going to be in the community section. She said, feel free to ask Roslyn. So I like this because you brought a lot of great detail to Delta, but I'm going to stop sharing this and go back to Robinhood to show you this Delta chart. So there's a couple of things happening this week in the market. One of them is the CPI is coming out on Wednesday, the Consumer Price Index, and it is predicted to be more than in May. In May, I think it was like 8.4 or something, and it probably will be closer to 9 this time. It may be. So also, there is a analysts are saying that they believe there could be a spike in oil up to $380 a barrel. That's huge. At $380 a barrel, that would be like, a flight you pay $300 for, you might pay $2,500 for, because the cost of fuel is going to go up drastically if that happened. And I think that as it relates to travel overall, there's a lot of increased cost pressure on airlines because of inflation. So also, the Fed meets later this month, July 27th and 28th, to discuss the next rate increase. I think um, I think Stacy is right. It seems that for Delta's earnings, when they have been um, after the last few earnings announcements, Delta, even when they have been negative, they've had a little bounce. So I think you could buy calls short term and make some money. And I'm not talking about a lot of money. I'd be happy with 20%, 25%. But ultimately, I think I'm bearish on Delta. And I'll say one other thing. I asked like who's traveling, and a lot of people said they were traveling Delta. Okay, you've read about airline cancellations, the labor shortage, which is affecting airlines. And then people tend to do these crazy things on flights, like I'm not wearing a mask and all that kind of stuff. All of those things that are happening and the increase in airline flights, the cost of airline flights, that's happening like right now in real time. So I agree with Stacy. I think the position is to be bullish, but it should be short term. Now, in the next quarter, in earnings announcements, I think we're going to see Delta and a whole lot of other transportation stocks. The announcement is going to be catastrophic, because then we will see the result of what's happening right now. It'll be reflected in the next earnings announcement by a huge amount. Not so much now, but by next quarter, I would say Delta might go down. It's probably going to go down into the teens. I mean, so short term, if I were going to buy calls on Delta, the announcement is the 15th, right? Or maybe it's the 13th. Um, it's the 13th. Okay. So short term, maybe the 29th. And the calls are not that expensive. It's 29.27 today. Stacy gave us the RSI, which was, I think, 34. 29. Here's a call. There's like no open interest. The volume is so little. But I would give myself a little bit of time, because the announcement is the 13th. This is an inexpensive call to buy at 155. I'll take a look at August 5th. We're already at 29. There's a little bit more. This is 152. It's a strike 30. That's not a bad investment. I like 29.50 more. And that's a call position. For the 29th. I'm going to buy this call. This is Delta's going down today. This is a strike 29.50. I'm gonna buy this call right here. 29, strike 2950, expiring July 29th. I'm just gonna buy one. And what was the low? Um, let me see. I'm gonna buy it here. And if I can get it for less than 155, I'll get it for less than 155. I got it for 155. Should you have waited? Not necessarily, Pastor Monica. You could, I think what you would want to do though, when Delta goes up, you might want to sell your stock and take that profit. And I would expect it to go up um, between now and the 29th, because the earnings announcement is the 13th. Okay. Let's see. Next is, thank you for that, Stacy. That was great. That presentation will be in the community section, so you can study that if you like. Shermaya. Shermaya was going to give us Wells Fargo. Shermaya, are you ready to give us your ACE
Good
analysis?
morning. Yes.
Good morning. Thank you for doing this. Wells Fargo, I'm kind of obsessed with.
That makes me nervous.
I'll hold my commentary.
Yes. And I'm on two different devices, but I could send the presentation to you or upload it, so you could put it on the community tab.
Okay, you can send it to me. That'll be great.
So I'll go over. Good morning, everyone. Doing my presentation on Wells Fargo. And just want to give a little information and history on it first. I'm a little nervous, so please bear with me.
Oh, you're in good company. No need to be nervous.
So Wells Fargo, their history over the years, if we look at it from 2018 all the way up to 2021, it has been a decline in their revenue from 27.26 billion down to 27.03 billion, all the way down to just last year, they went to 12.3 billion. And the reason with them going down to 12.3 billion in revenue per year is due to their loans. And the decrease in their loans is what has affected them over the course of the past 5 years. And the reason why I had to do a wider span of research on them is because of the drastic changes in their revenue that has generated from the decrease in loans, plus because of the different news and lawsuits that they have been dealing with over this course, this period of time. So they went from, I'll just talk about from that period of time, they went from loaning out $98.07 billion down to $40.83 billion. So that's a huge decrease in their loans, which is the loans is which generate, their money for the banking for the banking and everything.
Right.
And
wow.
Yeah, I was shocked too. And so that's just a part of that. And then the news of Wells Fargo is that they have had multiple lawsuits over extended periods of time due to discriminatory practice towards, they say Black customers, I say African American customers. And as a result, they have had to pay out billions of dollars. So they lost billions because they refused to loan billions to our community.
Isn't that crazy? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, go ahead. Yes, let's talk about it.
But isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, that's like so stupid. It cost them in the end. And you know what? I just want to jump in and say this. The collective buying power in the Black community is $1.6 trillion in 2021. Our collective buying power. Like Wells Fargo was stupid. They've had multiple scandals, like you said, but people are stupid not to tap into the African American Black community. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that. I couldn't resist.
No, I understand. And that's why I had to go back so far, because they numbers was just, it made me curious about why, so I had to do a little more research on it. So in all of their different complaints and different lawsuits, they have had to pay out per damage 5 million plus per damage that they has caused. And they continue to do the practice even though they were paying out all those penalties.
Crazy.
Yeah. And so when we get to the actual stock, I did the candle chart. I looked at the candle chart and I went out the past 3 months, the last quarter, and it shows a decline in their stocks. The highest was around $47.78. And that was like April the 21st. And now it's down to $39.64. But it shows, if you look at the chart from over a year, it just shows a constant decline in Wells Fargo. And so as my decision, and y'all please correct me because I'm new to this as well. I was thinking, and I did this probably about 2 months ago, I did puts on Wells Fargo and I was able to make about $300 off of it.
Come on, Shermaya, you go.
Well, I'll try it. So I'm doing more puts for them, and I'm going to do some short term, but I'm also going to do some long term. And when I say long term, like a couple of months, because I believe that it's going to fall, the market, as it continues to decline, because I feel like the atmosphere we're in now with all of this, discrimination and stuff, that a lot of people, are not going to invest their money. And I also remember Larry talking about get your money out of Wells Fargo. And when he said that is when I did my puts, and I was able to make 300 off of it. So I'm thinking it's going to continue to decline because the culture of that system seems to not care of the penalties regarding their decisions. And I don't think it's going to change now. So that's all I have. Thank y'all for listening. And as Stacy said, refer everything to Roslyn. So
Y'all are hilarious.
And I'll send the presentation later today.
That was excellent, Shermaya. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. When you started talking, I put in the comments like, listen to her. She sounds like a highly experienced analyst. Wow, so much authority in her voice.
I receive it. I'm walking in everything. Yeah, I receive it. I'm gonna get there.
You're already there. You did the fundamental and the technical. That was amazing. Look at all the talent we have in our community. This is just amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that to us. So I like this presentation because I'm like not even low key hating on Wells Fargo. I just like hate Wells Fargo because of all of their discriminatory practices. And because I think their business practice has not been as professional as it should have been for a bank. They cannot seem to escape scandal. And I do not understand why. Well, I do, and I don't, but I feel like Wells Fargo should have already folded as a bank or been taken over by, maybe a JP Morgan or a Bank of America or something. And I believe eventually that will be Wells Fargo's fate, because I think they won't be able to withstand a bigger financial hit. That's what I think. So I'm bearish on Wells Fargo. I agree with Shermaya. So let me go back and look at their earnings available. They're going to be available pre-market. Okay. The market is actually going down now. I'm bearish on Wells Fargo, and I'm going to actually take a put position. I'm long-term bearish on them, especially based on what Shermaya has given us. I'm going to take a put position, and their puts are pretty inexpensive. But I want to give myself some time, even with Wells Fargo, even with a little bounce, Wells Fargo, the problem with these is there's not a lot of volume in them. Wells Fargo's at 39.63. I'm willing to take a put position, and I'm willing to take a put position for relatively short term. This is about a month away. I don't want to put a lot of money into it. I put $139, $178. I think I put into this. This has no volume. I'm going to buy this put right here, expiring the 12th. Now, and Wells Fargo is going up, but I don't want to put more than $200 into this. I'm going to sell this, and I'm going to be happy with a 20% profit in this, because I think this is one of those stocks that you can trade and actively trade and just stack profit in. So I'm just going to buy a put, strike 39. I'm going to pay 178 for it. And I'll probably get filled. And then I got filled at 178. So thank you, Shermaya. I appreciate that. I'm going to sell this at a 20% profit, 25% profit. And this is just based on earnings. Oh, on August 19th, there's a lot of open interest. Okay, thank you, Nicole. I should have looked at that. August 19th. A put. And it's inexpensive. $37. That's a good one. It's the last two. That's a strike 37.5. $58. The 35 has even more open interest. So if you want to invest less, you could go with one of these. The 35. Okay, let me look at that one. Oh yeah, the 35. All right. It has a good bit of open interest, and it's 74. You got a $30 put for 819 a while back. Nice. It's got some open interest. I'm sure it was different when you got it though. This is August 19th, strike 35. Has good open interest, and a strike 37 has a little less open interest. I'm going to try this strike 35 too for August 19th. I like the open interest on it. It is 74. Now it's 73. I'm going to try that one too. I have more time to expiration. So that's Wells Fargo. All right, Stephanie Carter, Citigroup. You just bought the same, Perlene? Okay, nice, nice, nice. Stephanie Carter is going to give us her read on Citigroup.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Stephanie.
How
How
is
are you?
everyone? I'm well. Can I
Good.
share my screen?
Absolutely. Let me stop sharing mine. And I think you can share yours.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay. Hope everyone can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to get
Oh my God, I'm so excited about these presentations. So great.
So my assignment was Citigroup, and I want to give you a little bit of background at a glance. It was founded in 1821 as the City Bank of New York. It's based in New York, New York. Its current CEO and director is Miss Jane Nen Fraser, who was hired in 2021. It's in the industry of banks diversified, and its sector is financial services, which provides a diverse range of can't see, financial services and or with some interest in wide range of financial services, including banking, insurance, and capital markets, but has no dominant business line. And they employ over 200, I'm sorry, they over 223,000 people. So what is C? It is a diverse financial services holding company that provides various services and products to consumers as well as corporations and governments and institutions, basically in almost every continent. Best you're wondering why not Australia? Well, just last month, they sold their consumer services division to the National Bank of Australia. It operates in two segments. It has a global consumer banking, which caters to retail customers and offers banking, credit card, and investing services. Sorry about that. That was my husband. And institutional clients groups
No, it's okay.
that offer governments services to governments, institutions, and ultra-rich investors. And they provide equity research, private banking, and cash management. As of December 31st of 2020, its primary operations have been in Hong Kong, Mexico, Singapore, and the United States with over 2,300 branches. And as of 2020, or actually of 2021, it earned 21 million in revenue and 21 million net income. So its direct competitors are Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo and Company, as we just heard about just now. And as you can see, this is the S&P chart, and you can see here the banks diversified. Citigroup has the least amount of market share where you can see that JP Morgan has the most, followed by Bank of America and Wells Fargo. So the highlights, Citigroup pays an annual dividend of $2.04 per share and has a dividend yield of 4.4%. It also pays out 24.1% of its earnings in the form of a dividend. Since the current CEO has taken over in early 2021, it has been working on a multi-year transformational plan to correct regulatory issues, modernize parts of the bank, and try to boost returns that have been disappointed for several years. And during the first half of this year, shares have actually fell nearly 24%. But some good news about Citigroup is that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway took a new position for the first time since 2021, hinting that Citigroup might be on the right path. So looking at the chart, as you can see the decline in the price for the first half of this year. And as you can see, the price, which is the blue crooked line, has fallen underneath both the 200 moving average as well as the 50-day moving average. So it's showing that right now is in a bearish trend, and that the RSI down at the bottom is a little bit at 45, at the 45 level. Is currently, as of last night when I printed this chart, the price was 46.82. So, but it's below the bottom Bollinger Band. So it might be soon ready for a bounce, maybe in about the end of this year or so. So its earnings, as you can see, there's the estimated earnings, which was in the, which it has the lighter circle and the darker circle is actual. You can see that they have actually gone more or have earned more than their estimated amount, even though the price has gone down. So their next earnings report is going to be available July the 15th pre-market. So based on that, here are my takeaways. At a dividend yield of 4.4%, Citigroup is an option for those who are looking for passive income because of their dividend yield. Upcoming earnings, as I said before, July the 15th. I recommend a hold if you have Citigroup right now. If you don't, I would recommend possibly dollar cost averaging in to buy, because it might take a further dip before going up, because we do, well, based on what Roslyn is saying, as well as my analysis, the interest rates will be going up because the Fed is trying to fight inflation. And when interest rates go up, bank profits seem to go up. If you are an options trader, I would recommend long-term calls. And that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for that. Oh my God, over the top presentation. Oh, these presentations are like, if I needed an analyst, I think I'd be first looking in this group.
Thank you.
I'm very serious. I'm not trying to flatter you guys. I'm like very serious. When it comes to analyzing stocks and markets, the best analysts, I found this out in my own career, the best analysts are new analysts. It's not the ones that are experienced. The new ones are the actual best, because you uncover so much that like an experienced person won't necessarily catch in the beginning. So Stephanie gave us this great information about Citibank. Okay, now I want to say something about Citibank that I didn't say about Wells Fargo, as it relates to the rate increase. So of course, the rate increase means that banks could be allegedly bringing in more profit, allegedly. Even if that's the case, I do think that for bank stocks overall in the banking universe and in the finance sector, I'm personally long-term bearish. There could be a bounce short term in Citi. There could be a bounce short term in Bank of America in spite of the rate increase, because or there could be a bounce in all the bank stocks, not just because of the rate increase, but because consumer spending. There's this rumor out there floating around that inflation is cooling. Some major analysts are saying the Fed is not going to continue raising interest rates because inflation is going down. I don't know what the CPI number will be on Wednesday, but if it is less than what it was in May, that's going to further add to this storyline that, oh, well, inflation is not so bad. The Fed has started to control it with this rate increase. So the bank stocks could bounce temporarily, but I think long term they're going to go down. Of course, they're going to go down with all the other stocks. What I like about Citigroup, and what Stephanie brought to us, is that when you are designing a trading plan, one of the things that you can do is once you've decided, okay, you're going to allocate maybe 40% of your portfolio to stocks, you can look for stocks that pay dividend. Because one of the strategies in the market is to build passive income over time. And that's just like for Citigroup, they're paying a dividend, it's annual. I think she said it was 224 annually. If you have enough stock, that's a nice bit of passive income over the course of a year. So you could add those dividend paying stocks to your portfolio and your overall trading plan. So I like that about Citi. The other thing is Citi has also had a lot of scandals. They did, and I don't know if you mentioned this, Stephanie, Citi like wired $400 million to Revlon. And I don't know if they ever got that. Like, it was the biggest blunder of the biggest bank at the time. They wired like hundreds of millions of dollars. They did. And then they were also fined because they had a lot of just deficiencies in their business practices. But they did wire mistakenly $500 million to Revlon. They did. And then they got fined by the SEC. Yeah, it was a mistake. Lena, it was a mistake. It was just it was just a mistake. Somebody hit the wrong thing in their transaction, and I don't think they got that money back. As an aside, this was last year. Just as an aside, I know, Leontine, pay attention to your brokerage accounts, because brokerage accounts make mistakes more often than you would think, and they have to be held accountable for them. So pay attention to your brokerage accounts. Pay attention to them. They weren't supposed to wire it to anybody. I'll see if I can find the story and put it in the community for you guys. They also had a lot of, oh, thank you, Montoya put it in. They also had a lot of lawsuits behind that. There's so much scandal in finance, it's amazing. So Citigroup, Stephanie says it's a hold for her. And that's what she would recommend to her clients, is a hold. I think Citigroup is Donna. I think I agree. I think I would just hold on Citigroup. I think I would just hold, although I did buy, I think I bought a put. I think I would hold on Citigroup for now and think about, I'm a little uncertain about Citigroup. I would give it a little more thought, and then maybe I would buy a put just around earnings. That's my thought. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. And then we have one more. That is JP Morgan. Sandrika. Is Sandrika here? I think I saw her. Oh, yeah, she's here.
Hi,
JP.
good morning. I'm here.
Good morning, Sandrika.
One second. Everything should be working. So let me
Stop
share
sharing.
my screen. Okay. Like everything should be working. Then I went blank. Okay. Share screen. Are you kidding me? Oh no. Shit. Oh my God. I went in and okay, I'm sorry. I will send it. I so apologize.
No worries.
How do I do that? Can I put it up here and how you did with the other girl?
Yeah.
A PowerPoint, or did she send it to you already?
She emailed it in.
Oh shoot, I would email mine in. I'm so sorry. Gosh.
No worries. No worries.
Oh, I felt bad. I really did this nice presentation too. I don't have a whole lot of fundamentals, but
you can email it and then I'll put it on the screen.
oh, okay. Can I do that now then?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Let me open this up. I am so sorry. I got my camera to work. Remember the camera didn't work the last time?
I know.
I was like, oh, so it's working, so I'm good. I don't know what's going on with this. But anyways, as I'm about to email it, I'll just kind of talk a tiny bit.
Okay, or I can if you feel more comfortable, you can start once I get it, because I can just pull it up and check the markets. So if that makes it better for you. I'll pull it up.
And I'm so sorry. I felt good about being like
well, I mean, Sandrika, the last presentation you gave us was excellent. So don't worry.
I really was, everybody had their stuff, and I did over the weekend. Like, yeah, my camera's working, so I'm good. I think what irritates me the most is because consortia. I emailed that to you, right? Well, consortia.
Yes.
Is that I completed an MBA during COVID, and I had to be on camera and online. So I was like, why is it not working now? Like, that's irritating to me.
I've been the queen of tech difficulty in like the last probably month or so. And it's like everywhere I am, I have just like a really great internet signal.
Can you give me your, I apologize. Can you give me your email?
Yes, wealth@wealthconsortia.com.
Okay. I thought I was going to wealth at once. JPM, put the subject line. Well, we'll wait till we get there.
No, I want to say something real quick. So you probably saw the story about Elon Musk and Twitter's going down, backing out of the Twitter deal, which I think we talked about early on when he was like, I don't know how many bots you have. And so now he's backed out completely, and he may be forced to go through with the deal in any way, in any case. But Twitter's going down now. Did anybody happen to buy puts this morning on the open because of that story? Or did anybody already have puts? Tara said, I'm so annoyed by him.
It's funny. Roslyn, did you get my email?
Let me check.
Okay. And now I really do want to apologize. It had nothing on my camera. I wonder, do I have to do, maybe, I wonder if it's because it's a Mac. Hold on, guys.
I'm on a Mac.
Are you, will that, let me see something. No, it's still, I don't know. It's still out. Did you get my email?
I got, yep, I'm opening it now.
Now that's going to irritate me to figure out what really happened.
We are good. So let me share this.
Okay.
And then you just tell me
Sure.
next slide whenever you're ready.
Yep. You could go to the next slide. I'm not really fundamentally, I'll work on that. But you know what? Go to number 6.
Okay, number 6.
Yeah, because then I can start with that. This is last quarter, they missed it, but they beat the revenue surprise. This is with JP Morgan. I just assume everybody knew that they was in the financials and the bank, but I'm taking notes as everybody else do their presentations. And please forgive me, I'm an engineer for over 20 years, so my mind is kind of different. So they're looking for a 290 to hit the mark. Can you go to number 5? I'm just starting this way.
Yeah.
What gave me hope initially was that they was at a 52-week range.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Denise. They were at a 52-week range, and they did pretty decent on last week in the market with trading. So I was like, all right, well, what can potentially give them a bullish run? Now you can go to slide number 2, and then I have a few questions for you when it comes to the pit plays. So April 13th was their last quarter. But what I paid attention to was the first 2 days, it was down. And then the next day, they had a small bounce. Now, JP Morgan has been on a downtrend since February of 2022. So they're under all of the moving averages. The white line is the 200 MA. I think the purple line you really can't see, that's the 100, and the yellow is the 50. I did this over the weekend. I was like, well, let's see if they broke the trend, because I was looking at this last week in the sense of, will it hold 114? And it did. It broke the trend. It gave me some hope to be like, okay, maybe we can put in for a call for next week. You go to slide number 3, please. So this is the daily. So I was like, well, they broke the 52-week low that I spoke about last week earlier, which was the 109. They held at 114 all week. This morning, pre-market, there was 113.49, and this is where they're struggling. I did a paper trade for 118. I don't know if anybody know that you could do paper trades in Robinhood. So I was like, let's see how this goes. I think I made like $74 from that. Well, I didn't make it, but it was a paper trade.
Right. Nice.
Because I do NASDAQ and QQQ and all of that. So Roslyn, so number 4. I hope everybody is following me. I'm so sorry. So intraday trading, I normally do the 4-hour chart when I'm doing intraday trading. The orange, this is Trading View, by the way, is where I marked up my charts. 113.49 is where they were trading. I was showing that it held last week at the 114. It was making higher highs. So I was like, okay. I'm thinking that, well, that yellow line is the 50 moving average. I'm thinking that, okay, I'm thinking it at least wants to go there. So that's why you see it's a blue line and it's a 118.29. That's what made me think to be like, all right, if I do a call option, I want to do it at the 118, which is also the next order block. But today is not looking that great.
Right.
All right, so number 7, and I'm a technical trader, guys, so too much. So I said the potential play, and this is what I have a question about to ask you, Roz. A strike at 120, we want this to be short term with an expiration at the end of the week, or 722 is very inexpensive. But what I wanted to ask you, Roz, the open interest is the highest at the 120.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, on slide number 9, I have for 114. It's a lower open interest.
Right.
So my question to you is with the Greeks. It's a higher Greek. So if it move $1, it's going to give that 0.53, right, for delta.
Right.
And if you go, I'm sorry, if you go back to number 7, it's a lower Greek.
Right.
So now I'm new to options. I do like active trading, meaning that I'm on AMPS future and I'm in and I'm out. Which one would you do based on the Greeks? Would you follow the Greeks? Or does it matter? The 118 call and a 120? And maybe you don't, maybe that's, but that was just something that I noticed. And I did a little research, but I was like, well, that'd be my question.
So what I would do, well, actually, I'll tell you what I did, and I have not explained this here, and some of you may be doing this.
Okay.
I've actually done spreads on JP Morgan.
So you did a buy and a call, a buy and a put, a call and a put?
Yeah, I'm playing a wild card on JP Morgan. And so that's why I did spreads. But the spreads I did expire later in August. And I mean, there's a chance that they could work. They were not expensive, so I'm not worried about the investment. I did debit spreads on JP Morgan. So the ones that I did also, I will say, had a lot of open interest.
Okay.
And I considered several, but I went with the one that had the most open interest. And I was looking for a date as a wild card to be sure I gave myself enough time. The one thing that I don't like about options is on the week of expiration, that theta kills you. Options, even when there's a lot of open interest, unless there's something drastic that happens in the market. And like let me see, where is the market now? If we went down, and we're trending down today. Yeah,
it's definitely trending down. I think it's at one. I have my Yahoo up, and I'll put this. I would like to add a put. Now since it's going down, I was going to look at it to see what could be the potential put play. If you go to number 8, the last thing that I wanted to put was this was the potential for options implied move for. Well, you can see Delta on here too, but I was mainly focused on JP Morgan. So they're thinking that 4.12% either up or down is an applied volatility move. So, and that's my presentation. I'll add more fundamentals if I get chosen next time.
Oh, you will, definitely. So even though, what I'm saying to answer your question is,
Mhm.
which one would I buy? I would
Yeah.
go with the call that has the most open interest.
Okay.
That's number one. And number
Okay.
two, what's attractive, let me go back to the call that she was showing us. What's attractive about the 120 is, even though it expires Friday, I like the open interest, but
And this is
also,
when I did this last week, by the way. So it was just kind of like, all right. And with it, I'm sorry, it was based on them missing. So it was just like, all right, I want to be in and out. Does that make sense?
yes, yes, that's what,
722,
yeah,
expiration 722 aren't expensive either. But this was the one
right.
that had the most interest.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let me share, let's look at where that call is now.
Okay.
Um, it's the week of expiration. However, if, for instance, this was a 120 call, if it's down today 1.24, a 120 call is right now, it's gone down. The open interest has gone down to, it's 25 cents. That's very inexpensive. I mean, you'd be paying $25 for that. It expires Friday. Uh, what day is earnings? The 14th pre-market. That call could work, even though it's the week of expiration. It's not a big investment. So if you bought this call and it didn't work, you'd only be losing $26. I have to say that I do like more, probably, and it'll be more expensive, a little more time on it. It's less open interest and the call is more expensive. But for purposes of what Sandrika has brought to us, I I do like your rationale for it. The 120, strike 120. And JP Morgan is going down now, but the market's going down. But look what's happened to that call in the time that I've gone to look at it. It's gone up. So you could buy this. I think I will buy this, and I won't be looking to hold it until Friday. I'd be willing to sell this with a profit and take a profit of 10%, because that may be all that you can take out of that, because it's the week of expiration and theta is going to kill you dead. So it's a very low cost investment and it could definitely work. Right. So you agree, Sandrika, this could work. You take a small profit on it. Any profit is a great profit. I won't diminish that, but this could actually work. Only because this is an earnings play. This is only an earnings play. Because I typically would say to anyone, you don't want to buy options the week of expiration unless there's something extraordinary going on in the market and you're going to be day to swing trading. That's it. You will not hold it long. Does anyone have any questions for Sandrika? She's probably going to direct you to me. On JP Morgan, this is excellent. What I like, Sandrika, I have to say that what I like about your presentations are, you're very technical with them, and you bring about the aspect that, you bring all the technicals into it and not so much the fundamentals and the financials. And that's a very good balance for everyone else that brings a lot of fundamentals. So I appreciate that about what you do. I think that's the engineer in you. And this will be in the community so you guys can take a look at it and study it. I think I'm going to buy the 120 call for 26. It's a short-term play. This is very short. I'm going to look to get out of this today or tomorrow. It was $26, so I just bought this. It was great. Thank you guys for these presentations. If you're going to be at Reformation this week, please say hello. I'm going to be there. Somebody asked me on Instagram if I was going to cuss on stage this week. I was like, I did not plan that. Please say hello. Please stop by and say hello if you're going to be at Reformation. Terrence, I can't wait to see you. Right, Courtney. Yes, I do have to say manifest shit. I'm just saying. I do have to say that. And yes, I will we'll go through the Greek. So thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. I have gone way over. No, the UVXY is not splitting. I think that's somebody brought an old story. It's not splitting. If it is, I haven't heard anything about it. So thank you. I will put these in the community and everybody can take a look at them. I don't know what the hours are for the fast. I think is it a full 24 hours? I think Reed will probably post it sometime today. I think it's like the full day. So it starts like at midnight or so. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, thank you. What July course, Linda? Which one? Are you talking about 1 million rising? Thank you, Nicole. I think it's one. I think it's all day. So that means it would be like starting at midnight tonight or 12:01. No, I just actually haven't announced it yet. I'm going to close this group because I think this group has really settled into its own now. And I think the vibe and the energy is good. So I'm going to do what I did with the first group. I'm just going to close it and not open it to anybody else. And I probably will never do this ever again. So Brenda, so in the last group, once people left the group, that was just it. But I might think about that. And I do that because something has happened that I didn't expect, and I just didn't expect it. So I want the group to move in a certain direction, and the people, the mindset is all the same. The mindset is all the same. And once that happens, once I see that happen, then it's easy for me to just take the group and keep moving it where I want it to go. Of course, I love you. Oh, yes. Yes, we are all so special. Like I have a plan for this group, and it's a different method for getting to $1 million slowly than the Muse group, but it's the same. The goal is the same. I haven't announced 1 million rising yet. So when I do, I will put it in the community. Prophetess Irene, I don't know. I have not I have not opened that first Muse group. Despite Archbishop asked me to open it, and I said no. I said no. Just gonna close it, and that's gonna be that. No new friends. Hashtag no new friends. Lena. Right. I like that, Leontine. We are Muse to Elite. Yeah, so Terrence, I did this for Patreon. And the other thing is I have Mark. No, I'm gonna be here as long as you guys show up. I'll keep showing up. So if you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up. I'm going to Prophetess Irene, I said no to Archbishop. And he was like, Roslyn. I said, Archbishop, no. No, no, no. Not happening. Yes, I want the exclusive. Nicole, no. No Muse 3. I have 3 big projects that I'm doing also that I have to start to focus on. So that's another reason. And I like the dynamic of the group. Sandrika. So I am mulling around a Muse 2.0 gathering. I'm mulling that over, a Muse 2.0 gathering. I'm listening to what the Spirit is telling me about all of you, about where it should be. I did this with Muse 1 and they are out of control, excited. We're going to mark this venue. So I'm listening for what the Spirit is telling me about Muse 2. Yep. It's going to be litty lit. Ain't no party like a Gangsta Roz party because a Gangsta Roz party don't stop. I'm just so serious. Prophetess Nicole. Oh my God. Close your eyes. I was thinking something out of the country, Prophetess Nicole. I was kind of thinking I'm gonna go check something out for y'all later this year. I'm gonna go and spy out the land and see. Yep, I'm gonna go. So the 1 million rising is going to what that's gonna do is it's going to bring in the components of financial planning and help build the framework from the ground up. Because what I discovered is a lot of people, this is a deficiency that's unfortunately in the Black community. It's financial literacy. A lot of people haven't had the privilege of having that. Understandably so. I didn't really, but I watched my parents, and the one thing that my dad would always do was pay bills, just pay bills. So that's like kind of ingrained in me. But you need like a strategy for money so that when you have money, you can take your excess money, which a lot of people don't believe they have, but they do, and then reallocate that into the market. So it's going to be a mixture of financial planning, investing for income, and estate planning, because I can tell you it is very true. You attract who you are. And if you stick with investing long enough, and if you're in the community and around the conversation of wealth, you are going to accumulate wealth. But the question is, do you have the framework in place for that? And then what are you going to do once you have it? So the 1 million rising is like long term, is going to cover all those bases, so that people can get in place to invest in the market. And it has some it has a spiritual foundation for wealth and money too. Yes, Terry, we were taught in school to get a good job, and it'll be open to anybody. God help me, but I'm doing it because I'm committed to 1 million people, 1 million Black people rising to the level of $1 million in net worth. 1 million, and it's going to be on Patreon. It's going to be in Patreon, so it'll be pretty simple. Terrence. Oh my God. Terrence, did you want to share this or not? That's a lot. Okay, I won't say anything. Oh my God. Whoa. Whoa. I could cry, Lord. Terrence, I will say, you know what? I'm going to send you a private message. I'm sorry.